the Kirk Cousins revenge game. What do you
Yep.
think?
Be one of these weird games. Doesn't matter the records. 35-33, 45-42. One of the games is all offense, man.
Greetings and salutations and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and with us today on this Top Shelf Tuesday edition, Captain for Life, Will Cotton. Will, what's going on? And happy Mother's Day out there with yours.
Hey, I appreciate it. Happy Mother's to y'all. And I took care of mine, so I got time. So we can go and spend some time together, Coach. So.
All right, so in segment one, we're going to talk about the NFL schedule release date, which is coming out. We have some games we want to preview, and next week we'll actually know when the games will be. Segment two, we got our strength of schedule, so we're going to give you some early previews of things. And then segment three, don't roast me like you roasted Tom Brady, but first, NFL schedule release Wednesday of this week, prime time, 8 o'clock. It is the fifth straight year, Will, that the schedule will come out in May. So kind of just think that that's going to be on a regular basis. Some games of note this season, and I kind of want to get your thoughts on what you think is a good game. So we've got George Ockett coming in real quick, folks. So I'm going to reset. George, what's up? It's Mother's Day.
My man,
Will
George.
is here. And
What's
we're
going on,
man?
man?
With it. What's going on with you, George? We are live and in Technicolor.
I was
What's
hoping he
going on?
showed up. I was
Yeah,
gonna talk some
man.
Tatum shit. I was gonna talk some Tatum shit. I was gonna talk all. So just so you had to listen to it.
As soon as you
Alright.
talk about him, he comes up big. So that's all right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, George, you have jumped in when we're talking about the games of interest for this season. So I'm going to throw out some games, fellas, and you tell me if you care about it. Will, I'm going to start with you. Chiefs and 49ers, we've got a Super Bowl rematch. What do you think, man? Is that something that's going to catch the viewer's eye?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, two of the best teams last year. I think the Niners get the win though if they do because they actually hungry. I mean, that's twice they've lost. You know, they're hungry thinking about it. So I got the 49ers going to take it to them. But we'll see what happens. But I'm going to watch that for sure.
All right, George, Ravens and Chiefs, AFC title game rematch. Are people going to care about it?
Definitely. That's one of the big marquee matchups. It's a redo from last year's AFC championship game. So of course they want to see that. They want to see two of the best quarterbacks, young quarterbacks in the league go at it. So definitely I'll be watching it.
All right. Will, Lions and 49ers, rematch of the NFC title game.
Turning in. Love it. You know, we're big Lions fans, man, low key. You know, Dan Campbell only. Strictly.
I love that
Dan
guy.
Campbell. Yeah, love that guy, man. So yeah, I'm watching, man. You know, that's gonna be big money right there. I like that.
All right, George, the Ravens are traveling to the Chargers. Harbaugh Bowl. Give me your thoughts.
That one's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be one that everybody wants to see. There you go. Another can't miss television right there. I'm really interested to see what happens with the Chargers because they got with Harbaugh there. You want to see what difference he's gonna make with that team because that's a team that we keep saying every year has all the talent in the world but never shows up.
Costs me money every year, George.
Yeah,
Costs me money every year.
And you really want to see what I'm real interested to see about them is I want to see what Herbert is actually about. Because we've sat here, we beat him up. Everybody keeps talking about he's in the top 5 or whatever quarterbacks. We'll see what he's about because he's got a new coach and a whole new situation. So I want to see what he's about now.
All right, Will. You know I'll tune into this one. Falcons traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Kirk Cousins revenge game. What do you think?
Be one of these weird games. Doesn't matter the records. 35-33, 45-42. One of the games is all offense, man. And
will they be nice to Kurt or will they boo him? What do you think?
No, they'll cheer him. Minnesota is very tempered. They're not like Boston or New York. They're not rude or things like that. I think they'll clap. They won't stand, but they'll clap. But
Wait,
yeah, it's gonna be high scoring.
wait a minute. Let's see. Let's just wait and see if Kirk Cousins even is able to play in the game. Okay,
Oh, yeah, all right.
we might be seeing the Michael Penix show. So I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know.
Hey,
right.
Michael Penix versus JJ McCarthy.
Yep.
I'm with it too. Let's go.
All right.
JJ McCarthy. Oh.
George, Raiders at Saints. Derek Carr's revenge game. What do you think?
I won't be watching.
Me neither.
Who cares?
All right. Will, Steelers are traveling to the Broncos. Russell Wilson's revenge game.
Man, I'll catch it because it's probably one of them 1 p.m. CBS school games. You're not really to sit in and ready, but it'll be good. I think it'll be. I think the Steelers will beat the crap out of them. But I ain't looking forward to it. I'll say
That's
that.
a 4 p.m. game since it's in Denver. All right, George, Broncos at Saints. Sean Payton revenge game, even though he left on his own. What do you think?
Again, this is a who cares because Steelers gonna beat the brakes off of them. I just want to see the backup quarterback return kickoffs. That's what I'm gonna watch.
Oh man,
the Steelers backup quarterback returning kickoffs.
All right, Will, Rams at Lions. Matthew Stafford returns to Detroit. What do you think?
It's going to be interesting. Anytime he goes back to Detroit until he retires. Anytime he's coming to beat, always go back to your old team. You can try and beat them. And, they're going to be like, well, we made the right choice by trading your butt. So let's see it. But I'm definitely going to tune in for this one.
All right, George, Eagles at Giants. Saquon Barkley returns to New York City.
I could care less because the Giants are going to be horrible, and the Eagles going to beat the brakes off of them. Yeah, it's just what. Well, let me take that back. The Eagles should beat the brakes off of them, but like we've always said, we don't know what's going on in that Eagles locker room. So
right.
until they get a therapist in there and figure that whole situation out, it's up in the air.
All right. Well, the Bills are traveling to Houston Texans. Stephon Diggs faces the Bills. What do you think, sir?
A lot of good names. I'll tune in. Diggs, Allen, your boy from CJ Stroud, Mixon. That's going to be some good games, man. They're playing in Houston, which means they're going to be on inside the dome. So there's going to be no cold, no nothing. Points, baby. Let's get it.
All right. And George, wrap us up. The Chicago Bears are traveling to D.C. to take on the Commanders. Caleb Williams is coming home. Jaden Daniels, if both of them are starting. What do you think, sir?
This is going to be a very interesting game. So I want to see it because we want to see.
Let's open the season with that.
Yeah,
let that be the kickoff game, NFL.
It should be because we want to see what Caleb's going to look like with that all-star squad. He's got a bunch of young talent out there in Chicago. I don't know really the coaches in Chicago could screw that up like they have for the past couple of years. So we'll see what happens. And we want to see you get Snyder out the way. Let's see what the Commanders, that's what they're called now, right? Yeah. Commanders. We'll see what that whole regime now looks like. And hey man, I'm up here praying that Jaden Daniels makes it through the season. That's what I'm praying. I'm praying that he doesn't get just mollywopped one time. So that's what I'm praying for.
Right.
Real quick, Will, before we close out this segment, a lot of chatter about the head coach's T-shirt. Did that come across your desk? He had a W with a feather on it. Did you see that, sir, or you missed that one?
Much ado about nothing.
Much ado about nothing. Okay. George, did you see the W shirt with the feather? Some people liked it. Some people didn't. What did you think, sir?
I think that's the next progression. I think because what they're going to go, you're going to see them change their name and logo again. I think that's coming. As soon as they get the organization back in a situation where they I think we're going to get a whole new name and a whole new look out of the Washington Football Club team, whatever.
I actually like the name Washington Football Team. I thought it was, you could do some stuff with it. But anyway, when we get back, fans, we're going to just introduce strength of schedule to you. Get your pencils and pads out if you're into things strictly for entertainment purposes only. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches podcast.
The reviews are in for Dr. Keith Adams' book, Finding the Balance, My Personal Journey to Academic and Athletic Success. College professor and student athlete academic expert Dr. Lisa Rubin said, "There is nothing out there like this book, so I do hope people will pay attention and give it a read." Former George Mason standout Fowler Campbell said, "Consider this book an opportunity to work directly with Dr. Adams just like I did. I assure you that there will be something you can take away that will be useful to you throughout your personal journey." Ryan Waite, a recent college graduate who is a software engineer, said, "I like how the book is based on research, which makes it good for general students as well as student athletes." The book serves as both a memoir to Dr. Adams' 30-year academic and athletic career, as well as an instructional guide to assist student athletes, parents, coaches, teachers, and administrators navigate through the challenges of finding a better balance between academic and athletic success. The book includes over 15 personal stories and anecdotes from Dr. Adams, along with numerous former players and colleagues from a variety of sports and endeavors. You can order your copy at www.ckasaveproject.org. From the main page, simply click CKA Save Project Services and order the Find the Balance book. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches podcast in segment 2, NFL strength of schedule. So with the schedules coming out on Wednesday of this week, thought it'd be a good time to kind of just do a pick 3. One team that's going to make the playoffs, one team that's going to make you money if you're doing things strictly for entertainment purposes only, and one team that's going to break your heart. George, we're going to start off with you. You've got the floor. Who do you think is going to make the playoffs, sir? Which team?
Make the playoffs this year. I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons. Gonna make the playoffs.
I got that.
I told him go. I know. Will we right there together? I am. Atlanta Falcons. I got that division is weak. If they get even just a minuscule of quarterback play out of the 2 quarterbacks they got, they'll make the playoffs because I can't go with Tampa Bay with Baker Mayfield back there. I can't do it. Can't do it. So I got them making the playoffs. I hate to say this as my heartbreaker. I hate to say this, but it's the 2 that my heartbreakers are going to be them Dallas Cowboys and them Philadelphia Eagles. Those are going to be that's my heartbreaker. That's my heartbreaker. Now, one of them going to win. Then one of them will probably win the division. They might, both of them might get in the playoffs, but they ain't going to do squat because I don't think they got enough to keep the ball rolling. And my money's on them Green Bay Packers. I don't care what. I don't care what everybody says. You can go ahead and do what you want to. Green Bay coming for some heads this year. That's what I'm going with.
Cotton Man, it's on you. Who's gonna make the playoffs? And you can go Falcons. Who's gonna make you a little bit of money if you're in the thing strictly for entertainment purposes only? And who's gonna break your heart?
Man, George already took my surprise, but the Falcons, man, I mean, easy schedule. Division. Oh, man, and there were only 2 games out the playoff, and they had Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke. So it's not impossible that they make the playoff. So I think that's the team, man. I got them. So me and George locked in, man. The team that's going to make you money, man, I looked at 4 teams, looking at teams. Chiefs have a decent schedule. But I'm going to go with the 49ers, man. They're going to make your money. They're not playing a hard schedule, and they still looking like a solid team. I think they're going to win like 14, 15 games, unless they were playing one of those like top tier kind of schedules. So I would say make your money the 49ers, man, and break your hearts. And I'm going to be kind of a little different. I'm going to say the Texans are going to break your hearts, man. I think when you can't sneak up on people, you become a target. And I think that is going to change the kind of difference because they're not that much better in their division. And I think that's what's going to make the difference, in my opinion. That's going to break the hearts for Texans.
I like that. Now, one pick I'll stay away from is that 49ers because I don't know how happy that locker room is. You got at least 3. You got at least 3 dudes asking out. So it's gonna be it's a little shaky over there, a little shaky.
Yeah, you could get Dolphins. I mean, the Dolphins loaded up, and the Dolphins have had a below 24
They
rank.
got no
schedule.
defense. They still don't got no defense.
Over
So
everything.
So for me, I'm like you guys, ladies and gentlemen. The Falcons have the worst strength of schedule in the league, meaning they're playing a bunch of nobodies. So yeah, they have to make the playoff. So I'm definitely with that. Team that's gonna make you some money. I'm sucked in, George. I'm going with the Chargers. The Chargers gotta make money, man. They got a horrible schedule. It's 27th, man. The winning percentage of the team's 0.478, man. I'm gonna do it again, Will. Much to my chagrin. And the team that's gonna break your heart, and I apologize for people living in this area, Baltimore Ravens are gonna break your heart. Okay? Baltimore Ravens are gonna break your heart because they gotta play people every week. And their strength of schedule is hard. And last I checked, as I say it every week, is that same dude coaching? There's going to come a point where he's going to call a play or two, and it's going to go the wrong way. So, yeah, they're going to win their game, sure, but that's the team I think is going to break your heart. Go ahead,
Chargers scare me because they're trying to figure stuff out. We got the new coach and everything.
Yeah.
But it's still in the division with the King. And as long as you look it up at the King, it's going to be tough. You know, they can get a wild
need
card.
them to win more than the spread says. I don't need them to do anything else.
I hear you.
All right, so when we get back, we got to talk about the roast of Tom Brady, along with a couple other things. We'll be right back on the iCoaches Podcast.
Why should student athletes use the CKA SAVE Project academic and athletic consulting services? Over the past 15 to 20 years, colleges, universities, professional sports teams, business organizations, and others have increased their use of consulting services to improve their decision-making processes and results. Over the same time, the athletic and academic landscape has changed for high school and college student athletes as the NCAA has raised initial academic eligibility requirements for student athletes while decreasing the number of transfer restrictions. Former college student athletes have noted that they were academic and athletically unprepared for the rigors of college. Let the CKA SAVE Project's close to 30 years of academic and athletic experience help guide student athletes to increase success as we work to help student athletes achieve the goal of obtaining a college degree. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment 3. Just a little bit about what are we doing, folks? What are we doing? There was a lot of laughter in a 3-hour roast on Tom Brady last week, but one person definitely didn't find the jokes funny, and that was his ex-wife, Gisele Bündchen. It seems that his wife was less than thrilled with some of the jokes. Here's one of the jokes, fellas, that I think I can tell on the air. Single life is what you deserve because you got no choice. Gisele gave him an ultimatum. You retire or we're done. Well, let me tell you something. When you have a chance to go 8 and 9 and it'll cost you, your wife and your kids, you got to do what you got to do. Is that funny? Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? Let me tell you some of the other jokes. Kevin Hart also made a joke about Gisele now dating her jiu-jitsu instructor, one of the smartest quarterbacks to ever play this game. How did you not see this coming? 8 karate classes a day, and she's still a white belt.
That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny.
Okay, that's a Kevin Hart joke.
That's
all right. So, George, I'm going to start with you, man. What are we doing? Are you all right with this?
If Tom was all right with it, that's what matters. I mean, some of them things was some of the ones I've heard on some of these clips. Some were funny. Some of them were below the belt. But especially when they got to the relationship thing, and I can understand why Gisele's upset. But if Tom Brady was okay with it, I'll giggle, cover my face and cover my mouth and just keep it moving and laugh while it happened. Glad it wasn't me sitting up there. Let's just put it like that.
Will, before you comment, I got to get one more joke in. Drew
Yeah.
Bledsoe, he's one of my favorites. I can't lie. Drew Bledsoe says, "You have more rings than I do, but I've experienced a couple of things that you'll never experience. The feeling of being the number one overall draft pick and a 28th wedding anniversary."
Oh,
Oh man, that's
What do you
rough.
think, man?
I didn't watch it, so I mean, I saw the clips. Like George said, I thought they were hilarious. The ones that came out. The biggest thing I saw is that the NFL can't lose. They can put literally anything on TV, and millions of people will watch. I don't think that's even the best roast I've even heard of. I think Mike Tyson had one that was pretty funny. Everybody roast pretty good, but like it's the NFL is going to throw anything on TV and people will watch. So I think it's just it's just great. It's just that's what it is.
All
I'm not into
hey,
roast, so
and speak to that. That tells you talk about the NFL and Tom Brady, how Teflon he is. You know what I'm saying? You could
Just
go
don't make a
in.
Robert Kraft joke.
Yeah, well, somebody
yeah,
did
right.
make one. Somebody did make one about getting a massage, and it was one covered in there. So, but it is what
And
I
of course,
mean.
no kids, man, like Tony Montana, no kids.
Yeah.
Can't
So
talk
it
about the
was
kids.
that was that was hilarious, man.
All right. So rookie camp. Rookie camp has started. Everybody's excited. George, we're going to go to Chicago. Okay. Bears coach, Matt, if look, if you know his name, yeah,
Eberflus.
what he said. He said Caleb Williams is starting quarterback. No conversation. He's the starter. What do you think about that, George?
Yeah, I agree with him. You spent the number one pick on him, and look who you got on the shelf. What you gonna do? You gonna run McNew or somebody else out there? No, you gonna go.
Exactly.
That's
Somebody
right.
else.
You gonna pull Indianapolis Colts from back in the day. We're gonna run Peyton Manning out. We're gonna run Love out with whoever, and we just gonna let it do because I can't. They have nobody else. They have a better chance with him behind center than anybody else in the locker room. So you might as well go with it.
All right, Cotton Man, the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels' first rookie mini camp didn't particularly do anything crazy, but man, were they talking about his leadership and the fact that he's fun to be around. And one person even said he has the it factor. What are you thinking about Jaden Daniels, sir?
Well, it factors a little early. I wouldn't give him that just yet.
After
But it's good
3
that
days
he's
of
very
mini camp?
consistent. Yeah, they don't even got pads on. Talk about he's got it. I'm like, he ain't been hit by somebody else. But I do think he's very consistent. Everybody talks about him. Everybody talks about he's a great leader. He's a lot of energy guy. He can ball. I think the guy is doing his first part. What you're doing as a rookie is you're supplanting yourself as the starter, and you want to be a leader. And I think guys like him, man. So we'll see when OTAs start and the veterans come in and what they talk and but so far he's checking the boxes and I like it. So nothing else to hate on.
All right. And George, the New England Patriots with first-year coach Gerard Mayo said that quarterback Drake May has a lot to work on. Does he sound like Belichick Jr. or is this smoke and mirrors? What do you think?
No, he does sound like Belichick. He ain't gonna get nobody extra hype. He's not gonna overplay anything. They could be happy with it. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if he's not the starter the first day because they'll take their time. I mean, when you're at the bottom and New England is at the bottom, he really has no weapons to throw to, give the ball to, or anything right now. You can take your time. Don't let your best asset get hurt, or don't let them do something, get into bad habits or whatever, and take your time with them. So I think they're being smart. And let's just simmer down and with all of this talk with the camps just starting and stuff. Let's just wait.
Rookies are out there, man.
Yeah, man. I don't care. Just let's wait till let's wait till everybody gets back. We put some pads on, and then I want to see because I don't even pay attention to stuff
practice,
right now.
though, Joe.
I know.
Right.
That's why I said.
Even, two hand touches, too physical. None of that.
wait till we get to those dual team scrimmages and maybe a couple preseason games or something, and then we can talk. But up until then, I don't want to hear you can talk about, oh, he's great and he's doing this. It don't matter till it's like 7 on 7. Y'all sit there and, this quarterback looks great, that wide receiver looks great, and then we put the pads on and it changes everything. So that those pads are equalizer.
All right. So to close out, Wednesday, we're going to have the dates of all the games we talked about. We're also hearing that ESPN may take over the NFL network. We're going to keep our ear to the ground for that. Business is about to pick up. Hey, basketball players, leave football players alone. And we'll stay on top of all of this. So on behalf of our cavalcade of stars, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Eye Coaches podcast. And we'll see you on the sidelines. Till next time, take care.
The Eye Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches Podcast.